देवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Guru, concept of Guru is a very personal thing. Can you hear me back there? It's a very personal thing. Depending on what you want to learn and depending on one's own temperament, etc., one chooses a Guru. That's why a Guru comes in all shapes, sizes, with and without beards, so that a vast array of people can have choices. But here, Lord Krishna is known as what? Jagat Guru. How is that possible? Whole universe, not just the earth, but the entire universe. And it would be extremely conceited of us, very prideful of us to assume that we are the only life form. So there might be other life forms and other conscious life forms, self-aware life forms, human-like life forms. And if there are human-like life forms, rest assured they will have human-like complexes and they will suffer from a sense of self-hatred, self-loathe, self-critique, fear, anxiety, sorrow, pain, etc. A sense of finitude, a sense of disconnection, all that is given. So this gives us a clue why Lord Krishna is Jagat Guru, because the subject matter that he has to offer is of pertinence, is of absolute relevance to every single human being or human-like incarnation in the entire universe of names and forms. That is why he is Jagat Guru. Because to be a human being or some human-like creature gifted with the free will is a travesty if that name and form, if that incarnation is also having self-ignorance. If the self-ignorance is not there, then it's not a travesty, then it's a blessing. But the human being, the human form is both simultaneously a blessing and not so much a blessing. It's a blessing because we have total freedom. Freedom to desire. Animal also has the freedom to desire, but then what about the animal? It can desire small things. A cow will say the grass is greener on the other side, and we go to the pasture next door in order to eat some grass. A cow will never say, I'd like to make my life in America. It will never say that. Only human beings are seeking appointments at the American consulate. You will never see a cow there, standing in line for an appointment. I want to make it big. I want to raise my family and my calves in the free world, or so to speak. It doesn't have that kind of a desire. Human it's as though the human mind is complete, has been gifted with total self-awareness, not just limited finite awareness in order to just recognize our own species for the purposes of propagation and then reproduction, and also to recognize other species. Why? So that they are predators, we keep away from them or we drive them away. The human being is not just that. The human being is free enough to desire, to want something, to have ambition, to have goals in life, to have talents, unique to that particular name and form, which nobody else has, and to contribute all these things the human being has. But then along with this freedom comes a difficulty as well. One is free, one has free will and complete and total self-awareness, that is self-aware enough to judge myself, free enough to judge myself, free enough to not like what I find, because eclipsed as one is by Atma Ajnanam. This is the problem. So therefore, wherever in the universe there might be human beings or human-like avatars. What is avatara? After this movie came out, avatar. I don't have to define it. So supposedly it has some blue beings, all copied from Rama Krishna only, where else? Anyway, so then, so as long as there are human avatars anywhere in the universe, then what? Then definitely complexes are there. That's why we hear in early children's science books, the human being is a complex being, unintended, full of complexes. Iti artha. Okay, this is the meaning. Full of complexes. Complexes coming out of the ears. That many complexes. Nobody likes me. That's okay. So what if nobody likes you? Well, I also don't like myself. Aha, here's the rub. Here's the problem. Nobody wants me. And everybody is mean to me even though I am dharmic to them. This is the thing. And then everybody feels that they are dharmic, correct? Yeah, this is the problem. So these kinds of complexes with regard to weight, complexes with regard to height or lack thereof, complexes with regard to the color of the hair. For that, first you need to have hair, okay? Yeah. Then complexes about not having hair. So many complexes. And then we define ourselves also like that. People say, not so much in India, because there's only one hair color, generally speaking. But in Western countries where there are different hair colors, they will define themselves as according to the color of hair. I am blonde. Means what? I'm saying I'm a bunch of yellow hair. That's what I'm calling myself. Just by the hair. And then, what else? And then, worse still, if you say I am bald, that means what? I am non-existent hair. That is what it is. And so all these complexes, and then because wherever there are human beings or human-like beings, there will be complexes, point number one. Lots of complexes that need to be covered up. And that which covers up some of the complexes, at least a few of them, what is that called? Foundation. Yeah, that's what. Foundation. Some kind of makeup, I suppose. Yeah. I don't know why it is called foundation. Perhaps people will be able to tell. We can talk about it in satsang, not now. And so then, so you can cover up things with the foundation. But you can't cover up the fact that you are trying to cover it up, correct? That is there. So wherever there are human beings, there will be lots of complexes centered on the self, centered on the I. Point number one. Point number two, these complexes can never, ever, ever, ever be removed without instruction of Vedanta. You can cover up the complexes either through foundation and other high heels. If you are short, you can cover up the fact that you are short by wearing high heels. Foundation, etc. you can do. But then it is a temporary fix. It is not a permanent fix. You can wear a wig. Temporary fix. And you cannot fully overcome it until and unless you have Vedanta instruction. Why Vedanta instruction? Because, and how does it remove complexes centered on the I? It removes complexes centered on the I because it reveals that the I is totally free of all complexes, including guilt and hurt. Kimaham sadhuna karavam, kimaham papam iti. Why did I do the wrong thing? Why did I not do the right thing? Translated with swaras. Why didn't I do the right thing? Why did I do the wrong thing? This is Vedagam Havavana Tapati. Like this, the person of knowledge has no regrets, free from a sense of guilt, free from a sense of hurt. The person walks freely. That is the beauty of Vedanta instruction. This is why we need the instruction in the life. And the one to provide the teaching of Vedanta here is called Jagat Guru, because the subject matter of Vedanta is Jagat Vishaya. The topic is concerning the entire Jagat. In fact, it swallows up the Jagat as first as Ishvara. Jagat gone, Ishvara revealed. Ishvara manifesting, masquerading as the Jagat is revealed. And that Ishvara is you, is revealed through Vedanta Shastra. So first we have a separate Jagat, the cause of all my problems. That's what one thinks. Jagat is the cause of all kinds of problems. It is full of in-laws, outlaws. In-laws who behave like outlaws. All kinds of possibilities are there. All kinds of possibilities are there. And then so, this is the Jagat, and all the people annoy me. They are the source of irritation, they are the source of frustration, they are the source of fear, anxiety, sorrow, pain, etc. You name it, they are it. Then it is revealed that actually these seeds of anxiety and the seeds of pain, the seeds of sorrow are already birthed, are already present in the antahkarana, the heart, the mind. They are already present. So what happens, what makes them grow is the triggering by the outside situation, by the external event, person, people, event, situation, circumstances. It's just a trigger. If the hook were already not there, then I would not respond with anxiety, I would not respond with frustration. And so all this pain, sorrow, frustration, the seeds are already there. And so therefore, I learn, and how do I understand this? I learn by seeing the Jagat as a manifestation of Ishvara. This is what is going to be talked about in the Bhagavad Gita, Gita chapters 7 through 12. This is what is going to be unfolded, very beautiful. The whole Jagat is Ishvara. But why is the Jagat Ishvara? I thought Ishvara was a guy in the sky living somewhere where I can't find. No. Bhagavad Gita's definition of Ishvara is simply what is. Whatever is Ishvara. What is Ishvara. That's why the first two letters of Ishvara spell what in English? Is. And that is further percolated to I. Equated to I. This is the instruction. The entire Jagat is crying to know, crying to want, but without really knowing that they want it. They are wanting to know it without knowing that we want it. That is really what it is. And that is why Krishna is described in this verse as Jagat Guru. The one who leads the entire Jagat from samsara to moksha. Didn't have tea today? So, samsara to what? Moksha. Samsara to moksha. Write down your questions. Write down your questions. You also write down your questions. Today I will take some questions in the evening. So, from samsara to moksha. So the journey from Hoham to Soham. That is the journey from samsara to moksha. Hoham means bored, tired, same old. Moksha means seeing everything anew, afresh, with the eyes of a small, innocent child. The Jnani is equated to a child. In many Upanishads, in the Prakarana Granthas also, and in the Brahma Sutra as well, there is a sutra. And of course, the one who is objecting to this says, so what? So we have to buy nappies for the Jnani as well, because the child needs nappies. So now the Jnani will also need nappies. No, that is not the idea. Not childish, childlike, in terms of spontaneity, trust, and seeing the world afresh. That is why Krishna is Jagat Guru, because he can restore our vision. That trusting, spontaneous, happy vision, he can restore that to us by removing the distrust through the teaching of Vedanta for those who seek that. Prapannana, for the people who are surrendered. Next one. Bhishma Drona Tata. Jayadratha Jala. Gandhara Nilotpala. Bhishma Drona Tata. Jayadratha Jala. Gandhara Nilotpala. Shalyagrahavati. Ashwathama Vikarna Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavairananadi Kaivartaka Keshavaha Sotirna Khalu Pandavairananadi Kaivartaka Keshavaha Bhishmadrona Tata Jayadratha Jala Jayadratha Jala Jayadratha Jala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalyagrahavati Krupena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavairananadi Kaivartaka Keshavaha Yeah, very interesting and involved verse. Let us see. This verse is describing a river. A river. The whole verse is, even though it has the main characters of the Mahabharata, it is describing a river. What kind of a river? A battle river. A river of war. A river that is bloodied by the bodies and the bloodshed of the gory battle. So this battle river is being described. Now what does the river have? Like look at the Ganga. You take a walk here. So what does the river have? What are all the things the river has? Banks. So here, so first we'll just see the translation, then we'll go step by step with the meaning. So Bhishma is one bank and Drona is the other bank of which river? So that's why everything is feminine. Bhishmaha cha Dronaha cha Bhishma Dronau. This is how we break it apart. Bhishma Dronau Tatau Yasyaha Nadyaha Sa. So Bhishma and Drona. Bhishma Drona, okay? And then Bhishma and Drona are the banks of which? She, that river. That river is called Bhishma Drona Tata. It's describing the river. The compound is not describing Bhishma Drona. The compound is describing what? The battle river. The river of Yuddha, battle. And we'll see why it is talked about as a river, because the river has its own ecosystem. What else is in the river? Banks are there. What else is there?
Water.
Water is there, yeah. What is the water? Jayadratha, a name of a character in the Mahabharata. We'll talk about that. Jayadratha, the king. King Jayadratha is the water. For which river? That river is called Jayadratha Jala. That's why it's in feminine. Even though Jayadratha is a man, here Jayadratha Jala means she who has for the water, King Jayadratha. It's all an allegory, it's a metaphor. Okay? So Jayadratha is her water. The water of the river is Jayadratha. And what else is in the river? Lily. Yeah, lily. Yeah, lily. Utpala, lotus. Yeah. Blue lotus in the river. Oh, very nice. Who is the blue lotus? The king of Gandhara Pradesh, present day Afghanistan, Kandahar, yeah. Pre-Taliban Afghanistan, from where Gandhari, the princess, the queen, Dhritarashtra, King Dhritarashtra's wife, Gandhari, we'll see all this. Right now, let's not get caught up in that. So she comes from present day Afghanistan. So in that time it was called Gandhara Pradesh. And her brother, the king of Gandhara, was quite a character. You probably know him by his other name. What is his other name? Shakuni. Because he had his nose was like a beak of a bird. That's why he was called Shakuni. One story says that. Who knows how he looked like anyway, but that is what it is. And exactly how the blue lotus looks. Blue lotus means so much beauty is there. He was very good looking, but and then very pleasant, lovely man. You would think after meeting him, wonderful person. But then he would make lots of plans for the person's demise as soon as the person left. He was very deceitful and waged war from behind. He would use a lot of deceit, as we shall see. So looking very nice, very beautiful, but then the blue lily or lotus, whatever it is, lotus. Utpala generally means lotus, or you can take lily also, doesn't matter. So the blue lily has all kinds of looks very nice, but then it can capsize a boat because it has tendrils underneath, roots which catch and overturn the boat. So she who has the prince of Gandhara Pradesha, Shakuni, as the centerpiece, because he was the central piece in the Mahabharata war, as we'll see. So beautiful blue lily, lotus, whatever you know, water flower, very nice. Not so nice. Okay, nice looking. That's all. What else is in the river?
Makar.
Yeah. Makara means what?
Crocodile.
Crocodile. Actually, no. Makara comes later. There is one more. Grahavati. Graha. Graha means shark. Shalya, who is the charioteer, who was the charioteer of Karna. We'll talk about all these characters, don't worry. Shalya was the charioteer is described as shark. Shark also attacks when you least expect it. It does not send you an SMS. I am 10 feet away. I am coming swimming towards you. No such thing. It will be somewhere, but it comes very silently and catches hold of you. Shalya Grahavati. So, she who has the shark, or Shalya as the shark. That river. Again, don't think we are describing the shark. The purport, the Tatparya means the purport of the verse is not to describe the various things, is to describe the river which incidentally has all these things. That's why everything is in feminine ending. Yeah. Even though Shalya is a man. So, Grahavati, she who is full of the shark is called Shalya. She is, Sharky because of Shalya. Okay? Then what else does the river have? What?
Flow.
Waves. Yeah. Yeah. What kind of waves? Tricky waves. Very tricky waves. Waves that are like whirlpool. And I don't mean washing machine, okay? Because there is one company that makes washing machine also called whirlpool. That is not what we are talking here. Literally an undercurrent that goes round and round and sucks even the best of the swimmers in. They are not able to come out. And for those of us who cannot swim, forget it, okay? But we are talking even of the experienced swimmers. They also get very panicky because it goes like this. And what is this river? She who has Kripa, an Acharya, brother-in-law of Dronacharya, Kripa. Dronacharya, the teacher of the Pandavas and the Kauravas, who taught them archery, is married to Kripi, the brother, the sister of Kripa. And so, this is Kripa, Kripena Vahani. Vahani is this, okay? Karnena Velakula. Velakula means the waves that give anxiety. So, she who has these breakers, these big surfs, etc., in the form of Karna. Vahani also can mean the speed with which the waters flow. Her speed is in the form of Kripa. That also we can take. Whirlpool, yeah. Kripena Vahani. Karnena Velakula. Then Makara. Makara means what? Crocodile. What kind of Makara? Look and tell me. Ghora Makara. Terrible looking crocodile. Crocodile is a funny animal. Half the animal is teeth. Yeah. And it will be lying there in the sun like this, with glazed eyes, pretending to be dead. It notices everything. And it has, unlike us, it has excellent peripheral vision because the eyes are on top of the head. So it can almost see 360 degrees. It knows whatever is happening. I once went for a conference in this place in a place called Charleston, South Carolina, and then there was some kind of a conference site, which was some nature site. Lot of ponds were there and everything. So my plane arrived a little bit early. I arrived around 4 o'clock, and then the meeting was not until 7:30. So I said, okay, I'll take a walk. There were some nice ponds, and then I saw a pair of eyes just underneath one of the ponds. And then I said, okay, better be careful. It is a makara. But then I didn't think it was ghora makara. I thought it was cute makara because it just looked a little bit, I could see, just a little surface of the head and two eyes poking. I was minding my own business and I was walking in between two, they had two ponds in a very nice shape, oval shape, two ponds, and I was walking in between that. Before I knew it, suddenly this makara had the thought of going from this pond to that pond. It had the thought. Or maybe it had another thought that I don't want to think about, but definitely it had the thought of crossing. And right in front of me, before I could even think, before my reflexes could even react, all I could do was stand there and look at the whole scene with fascination, with absolute fascination, because when it looked so small, when it came out it was a good 10-11 feet, huge, and then it went from this pond with that pond and lashed its tail nicely, huge thick tail, and then went away. And then I was just standing there. Then finally one guard came running and said, oh, you are walking here. I said, what's the problem? We have a sign, do not walk here, but that has fallen down. I said, please fix it before all the other participants come. This is Makara territory. We are not even supposed to be going here, it's their territory. And so this makara is very, very unpredictable. The unpredictability element is there in the form of these two princes, Ashwatthama. Who is Ashwatthama? Son of Dronacharya. We'll talk all about this, don't get worried. After we finish this, the next topic will be the context of the Bhagavad Gita. So all these characters will come back, then we'll talk about them. Because if I break into story now, we'll never get through the Dhyana Shlokas. So let me finish the Dhyana Shlokas, then we'll come back to the main characters, okay? So then, Vikarna. Vikarna is Duryodhana's brother. Duryodhana had 99 brothers, along with him 100. And one sister, Dushala, Duryodhana. And then another one famous, Dushasana. I'm wondering what parents would name their child Dushasana, badly behaved. That's really what it means. I think he must have been named Sushasana, but because of his behavior, it became like that. Duryodhana, Dushasana, like that. Even Vikarna can have a double meaning. Again, we are going through a prefix series. How many prefixes do we know now? Pra, and then? V. But we all seem to have forgotten what V is. What is V? Yes, enhances, especially. Or V in Viraga doesn't mean enhance. Then there is a different meaning. Just this morning we have seen, right? Yeah. V means what? Devoid of. V means without, devoid of. So V can mean enhanced, specially enhanced, or V can mean without, both. So Vikarna means somebody who has wonderful big ears. And why do you want to have big ears? All the better to do Shravanam with. So somebody who listens, big ears means it's a metaphor for somebody who listens well. Or considering that he is in the pack of these 100 useless fellows, Vikarna also could mean earless. Not literally earless. Behaves as though he has no ears. Only the sound of his own voice he hears, a poor listener. That also is Vikarna. Vikarna was another warrior. He was younger brother of Duryodhana, Dushasana, Vikarna. Vikarna was there. So Vikarna and what's the other fellow? Ashwathama. They are the unpredictable yet dangerous. Ghora means dangerous. Killer crocodiles. If they see you, they will not spare you. That kind of crocodiles. So she who is infested with the crocodiles in the form of Ashwathama and Vikarna is being described here. Okay? This is not a description of Ashwathama and Vikarna. It's a description of what? The river. The river of Mahabharata battle. That's the one. Then Avartini. Avartini again is another kind of a terrible undercurrent that seems to go this way and then suddenly changes direction and goes that way before you have a chance to adjust to it. Some kind of a terrible surprise undercurrent. So she who has Duryodhana for the dangerous Avartini, that which makes you go in circles because you can never predict which direction this undercurrent is going to turn. Dangerous undercurrent. This kind of a river it is, infested with all these good for nothing characters, troublemakers, bloodthirsty, horrible characters, villainous, each one in their own way. This river that is infested with the flora and the fauna in the form of these characters. Can you cross such a river? Say no so we can move on.
No.
Yeah. Tomorrow please have 2 cups of tea if you had only one today. And if you didn't have and come. Okay. So, can you cross such a river? No. Absolutely not. How difficult it is to cross. One Ashwathama catches hold of one leg and then Vikarna catches hold of the other. Duryodhana is making you go around in circles. Kripa is carrying you off with the tide. And then what else is there? And then there is Karna in the form of a breaker who comes and drowns you completely. Then there is this beautiful alluring blue lily and you try to swim to it and then you are caught by the seaweeds. Actually we should call them river weeds. We should stay with the metaphor. We should call them river weeds. This kind of a battle river. And then both the banks are also dangerous. You swim to this bank. There is a traitor in the form of Dronacharya who basically gave up his promise, thinking he was promising. And Bhishma on the other side, who was supposed to protect what is dharma. But then at the last minute he decided to protect the throne rather than the dharmic people. This was the problem. The throne happened to be occupied by tyrants and he decided to support the throne and therefore he protected the tyrants and went to the other side in the war. So on both the banks you are not safe and you can't say I'll keep swimming in the river. How to cross this kind of a river? Impossible. Unless you have a boat. Even with a boat impossible. Unless you have a skilled boatman. Who is the skilled boatman? Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna as the skilled boatman can take the oar and thwack one crocodile on the head and the other one make eye contact and make it go all dizzy just by the magic of his eye contact. And then what? The breaker and all the waves just become Shanta, because he just takes his flute and plays a wonderful melody, and everything just goes in harmony with him. In the blue lotus, he avoids completely by disconnecting all those roots and tendrils and weeds. Safely they were carried to the on the other side of this horrible battle river. Sa Uttirna. So Sa has A at the end, and the next word is also a vowel. What is that? U in Uttirna. A plus U becomes O. Like this morning, what did we see? We saw a similar example. साधन चतुष्टय संपन्न अधिकारिणां मोक्ष साधन भूतम्. So what? Vakshamah. Then after that, nitya nitya vastu vivekah ihamutra phalabhogartha viragah shamadishatka sampattihi mumukshutvam cheti. All this for that one cheti. What is cheti? Okay. I thought somebody might say it is the fifth qualification, cheti. Along with chatushtaya, this is panchama qualification now. Cha means and iti. A plus e becomes what? A. Sa in the same way. Sa plus u, uttirna. What does it become? Sottirna. A plus u becomes O. Sottirna. A drops, U drops, O is the replacement. Because it's all in the human voice acoustics. Really. You keep saying, and then it's too much of an exercise. There is a natural O. A is a guttural sound coming from the throat. Guttural doesn't mean that which comes from the gutter. Okay? Yeah. Guttural means from the throat. Yeah. From the throat. A comes from the throat. U comes from the lips primarily. I mean, everything comes from the throat, but primarily to form U, you have to make the lips, you have to purse your lips. U, A, U. And the sound O, which is a diphthong, is a combination of guttural and labial. From the throat and the lips together, you can only make two sounds. O, Au. That's all. It's all human voice acoustics. So A and U, when they combine, what do you have? O. Sa, and Sa means she. She who? Sa Nadi. Sa Nadi. That river. Sa Nadi. What kind of Nadi? Rana Nadi. Battle river. A river of war. Rana Nadi. Ranasya Nadi. River of battle. Battle river. We can even make the same compound in English. Battle river. Meaning river of battle. Ranasya Nadi, Rana Nadi. Sa Rana Nadi Uttirna was crossed. She was crossed. That's why Tirna is in feminine. She was crossed. By who? And that will be in the instrumental case. Pandavaihi, like Ramaihi. Pandavaihi, plural. Why the Pandavas? Why the Pandavas? She, the battle river, this kind of a battle river, infested by the riptides in the form of Karna and the whirlpool in the form of Kripa and terrible alligators in the form of Ashwathama, killer shark in the form of Shalya, and Shakuni like blue lotus, all this, she was infested with all this. Yet she was crossed over. Why? Only because Kaivartakaha means the boatman. The boatman happened to be Lord Krishna. So Pandavaihi, there is that Visarga missing there. Why is it missing there? Because again there is a rule there. Pandavaihi, and if it is followed by a soft consonant becomes but you can't pronounce like this. Pandavair Rananadi. So that one R is dropped. Yeah. Pandavaihi Rananadi. Pandavai Rananadi. Kaivartakaha Keshavaha. So when Lord Krishna is at the helm, and then even the most difficult river in the world becomes easy to cross. And the river, of course, is a metaphor for the challenges and difficulties in one's life which one feels unable to confront, unable to surmount. And it looks very overwhelming. How am I going to do this? What's going to happen now? Oh no, I didn't expect this. I thought this would be easy. How am I going to study Sanskrit? No, that could be a question. And so, what can we do with our hands and with our minds, with our karmendriyas and jnanendriyas, with our organs of actions and the sense organs and the mind? We can take care of all the planning. We can take care of known variables. I know that I have a poor memory, so I can't have Wednesdays off. So I have to study a little on Wednesdays. So we can make these kinds of plans. We can plan all these things. We can take care of variables, meaning there are variables means things that vary. There are many things that vary in life. So we can plan for all of them and say, in order to overcome this, I am going to do this. In order to not do that, I am going to do this. We can plan very carefully. Oh, tomorrow is a busy day. I don't have much time, so I am going to do a few things today so that tomorrow I am not a basket case. Okay? So we can make plans. This is called human life, intelligent human living, but not quite that intelligent, because the human life only can plan for known variables, not unknown variables. In any given situation, in any given circumstance, what is there? A combination of known and unknown variables, also known as hidden variables. Hidden because they are unknown. Only Bhagavan knows. Therefore, what to do? Pray. Pray. Bhagavan knows. And so that power of prayer, that prayer alone helps one overcome the hidden variables. Because otherwise one doesn't know. And that is why Arjuna won the war. Because he went to Krishna and he said, I only want you. Lord Krishna said, don't think I will fight on your behalf or I use some magic and all this. No, I won't do that. If you want, you can have my fighting army. Yadava army. Where only one Yadava can kill another Yadava. Invincible army. So too it is like that in Indian politics. And this is how it is. So the Yadava, invincible Yadava army. Or you can have a fighting army, the best in the whole universe. Or you can have a non-fighting me. I'll come with a Swiss flag, neutral. I am not fighting. And in fact, Arjuna and Duryodhana had both gone. Lord Krishna was taking a nap, as though, okay, Bhagavan cannot afford to sleep, but as though in the human avatara he was taking a nap. And it is considered a papa to wake up somebody napping. That's why even when I see people sleeping in the class, I do not disturb. So then what happened? Then Duryodhana, Duryodhana had come first, and with a lot of ahankara stood at the head of the bed where Lord Krishna was resting. In all humility, Arjuna went and sat at the foot of the bed. So naturally, if somebody is at the foot of the bed and you wake up, you will see them first. Oh Arjuna, here you are. He said, at the head of the bed. I am here, I came first. And Lord Krishna knew that they had not come over for chai. Okay? They had not come over for tea and pakoras. They had come over to each one to ask for something. And Lord Krishna says, you may have come first, but I saw him first. I saw Arjuna first. He tells Duryodhana. He gets the first chance of asking what he wants. And Duryodhana was waiting to exhale. He was holding his breath. He didn't know how to pray. He only knew how to P-R-E-Y, prey upon the patience and the possessions of others. But if he could have prayed, he would have prayed. What? Oh Lord, whoever you are, wherever you are, haven't thought of you often, but let Arjuna not ask for the Yadava army. And then what? Arjuna doesn't ask for the army. Arjuna says, I want you to be with me. This is after all the negotiations have dropped. They have failed. War is going to be declared. It is inevitable. That is when both of them go. And then Krishna says you can have a non-fighting me or a fighting Yadava army, a very fine army, the finest, best army. I still want you, he says. And then Duryodhana, who had turned blue by now because he was holding his breath, slowly exhales with relief, gives a sigh of relief. Ah, thank God. And both of them go away happy. This is what happens when Bhagavan negotiates. When Bhagavan is the middleman and negotiates, this is what happens. Arch enemies they both go away very happy with, and Duryodhana is happy. Arjuna is also very happy. What does a non-fighting Bhagavan means? Bhagavan is in the form of hidden variables. It means all the hidden variables for Arjuna will be taken care of. Will be totally addressed. How? We'll have to wait till tomorrow for that. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om